Well, lads, we're back with Tunis by popular demand, where today I am going to be attempting to finish off reclaiming the Carthaginian Empire slash Republic. So how do I do that? Well, I'm going to need these states here from the Spanish. I might need this from Gibraltar. Don't think any Morocco, but I'll probably take it anyway. I do need Sicily and probably Sardinia. Putting me in a rather tricky spot because after all that, I need to take this northern strip technically from the French. If you recall, my market is heavily intertwined with the French. I sell everything to the French and I buy everything from them as well. As a result, we have a GDP of #1 in the world by a decent margin. We just went through a war and we still have the #1 GDP by a lot. We've also, in the process, made France the richest nation on earth. And our own GDP isn't looking too bad itself at #8. We have a comparable GDP to Russia at this point in time, despite only having 6 million people. That is to say that well, it's 6 million people, but bear in mind that that jumped up quite a bit when we annexed the place. It was around 5 million previously. It's at the point now as well where we need to conquer territory to create more industry because, as you can tell, there are no peasants. In Tunisia, if you look at the population over here, no one is a peasant. Everyone is wealthy and prosperous and secure. It's pretty good. So there's a few things that I want to do before we get started. Firstly, I want to switch over our railway to steel passenger carriers because I want to start switching our industry over to using things like railways. So over here, I can use rail transportation, which means we don't have to use as many slaves and laborers. Kind of important for us. Also upgrade our farms and such. Means we need more fertilizer, but we'll build some chemical plants for that. We're also incorporating Valencia. The reason we took Valencia in the first place, we needed the coal. So we have about 20 coal mines all ready to go. Well, hopefully ready to go. Because coal is what we lack more than anything else. We're going to subsidize it. Coal is literally used in all of our industries. So I'm going to get our electricity industry up and running by switching over to electric fences. Keep using rail transportation all over the place. Thank you very much. Maybe we go to electric saws. I think so, but that means we're going to need to build electricity plants immediately. Otherwise, everything's going to go bankrupt. We have a mild issue when it comes to people insofar as we don't have any staff places. All right, let's keep going down this route of rail transportation. Oh, railroad boom. Probably railway throughput. We definitely need some of that. All right, how are we doing on the electricity front now? Yeah, still very expensive indeed. Let's bump that up to the top. We need those a bit more than we need the coal mines. It's weird coming back into this game after playing so many others like Texas and such, because you kind of get so engrossed with, okay, I need to do this, all these little moving parts. The jumping into a game that you haven't played for a little while, very confusing indeed. Everything else seems to be profitable. It is just sort of, what are you? Yeah, coal and hardwood. I'm gonna switch over to hardwood, make it a bit more profitable. Okay, we're losing a lot of money on this coal mine. I need a railway here. God, what a leader. He's got psychological affliction. He's an alcoholic. He's disliked by everyone. He's 91. Who's the heir? Do we have an heir? He's alright. He's well liked. He's charismatic. It's nice. Do I switch over to universal stuff and radicalize the landowners? I don't really care about the landowners. I would like elections because then I can shuffle around the party. Yeah, this is a good idea. It's gonna hurt our authority. Okay, do you still have a lack of... not really. It's just expensive. Okay, so you need tools and you need electricity. So let's get on that. Coal-fired power plant. Does sound good, but at the same time, I think that might screw us over. Also, we did release Galicia, whose population is not doing so hot. I also, to help with our population issues, because we need more people, I think I need to switch over to multiculturalism, which means I need to ban slavery. That's right, we still got slavery over here. The landowners would hate it, but honestly, I don't think they're too much of a big deal anymore. Yeah, they're just upset. Just the industrialists in government now. Also, let's not forget, I'm literally on the cheapest taxation law. Maybe I should change that. I also pay the max amount in government wages and goods and stuff, so we're quite a healthy society. Ban power plants. The recent expansion of the power plants of Valencia has inspired a faith in a future where all of Tunis is electrified. Hell yeah. Unlimited power. Must be other ways. I like the other ways to produce electricity because that will give us a hefty amount in steam turbines. So it's only 10 years instead of 13. That's 3 years of research right there. What am I slacking in? Let's have a look. Everything seems to be a reasonable price. I think we're all good. Okay, it's just you. Yeah, it's just electricity. All right, let's keep producing electricity then. Hey, Tunisia's got more peasants. Nice. And when we free the slaves, that should help us quite a bit. The Tunisian constitution. Liberté, égalité, fraternité. Oh, we just immediately get it. What a great event. Okay, so now we have universal suffrage. And we have proportional taxation. We've got mercantilism, which is fine. Ban slave trade, which means we need the trade unions in government. Ban slavery, boys. Conservative Party, Liberal Party, and Radical Party. Okay, we've got the radicals, the liberals are in government right now. Conservative Party consists of the petty bourgeoisie and the landowners. The petty bourgeoisie actually like me quite a bit. The landowners do not. Oh, damn. Okay, I need to switch out my decrees. Let's get rid of the infrastructure one? I can just build. I need to build a couple more railways. 1, 2, and one in, what did it say? Al Rif, was it? Like 2 here. Freedom, equality, and brotherhood. Yusuf ibn Halil. Who is he? I can't check. Okay. Oh, it's the industrialist leader. Okay, cool. He's a fearless visionary. Freedom of trade, freedom of thought. Let's do that. I'm starting to transition to a more like free and equal society. I'm not going for a defensive pact. I can shuffle this government. I'll increase my legitimacy. Everyone but the conservatives. Okay, and that adds freedom of thought and freedom of trade into our journal. Freedom of trade, we need free trade and increase the number of Tunisian trade routes by 25%. Okay. This one, we need right of assembly protect. I'm gonna start going like super liberal. I like that idea. We're gonna have a better life. I mean, look, the Punic faith did have child sacrifice, but that's in the past. You know, that was like what, 2,000 years ago? Fine. We've outgrown it now. We're now secure instead of middling. Nice. Oh god, you're importing slaves. Not for much longer. This might destroy my economy. I don't know how heavy my reliance on slaves is. How are the electricity plants? Yeah, motor engines are kind of expensive, so let's start building those. Oh, Tunisia's got so many more peasants now. That's such a good thing. Valencia's peasant population has collapsed significantly since we keep on employing everyone. Glass and tools. Okay, yeah, we need tools as well. They're expensive. More tooling workshops. We need a couple more in Valencia. I think Valencia's going to need a few more railways. Each railway gives us what? Not enough. Okay, let's bump up a couple of railways there. All right, you and Constantine. Yeah, you need the same. A healthy construction queue. I think I also probably could do with more construction. I don't want to rush that. Yeah, electric sewing machines, that'd be quality. Okay, we're currently number 3 worldwide. Scandinavia and Serbia. Ah, the Serbians are all rivals of quality of life. I don't know how they got good quality of life. Everyone's unemployed there. They're all Serbian. They're also all laborers. Yeah, most of my guys are shopkeepers. We just sell to other people. To be fair, that's what Tunisians do nowadays anyway. I really can more construction centers. I'm really heavily investing into this place. Its GDP is shooting up. It's got 8 million GDP. What's the general Spanish GDP? Yeah, 21 million. We've really helped out the GDP of Valencia here. How close are we to chasing down the Russians? We're like 10 mil away. Oh, nice. We've banned slavery. I think our income our income increased because now they're going to pay taxes. They still work the same jobs. Things might be a bit more expensive. We should be able to afford it with our market. Nice. That means that, yeah, the farms might be slightly less profitable. They seem okay. Fertilizer's mildly expensive. It's tools as well. I suppose the fertilizer. So maybe let's get some chemical plants going because then I can produce explosives to put in the mines, which will kill a lot of people. But more importantly, economic progress. How's your railway doing? How's your infrastructure? Yeah, infrastructure's good. Nice. All right, let's keep going with these laws. Does mean we can switch over to here, but most people do oppose it. Can't do that just yet. State religion, total separation. Again, a lot of people would get upset if I did that. Tempted to go for secret police just to stop people from social security, I suppose. Yeah, let's restrict child labor. I need to educate my populace, especially if they're going to be conducting themselves in a manner that befits electricity being everywhere. Also, how did Anhalt stay independent? Just hoping the more liberal I can make everyone. Don't like the fact the Radical Party has guillotine. A little bit nerve-wracking that. But okay, we move forward. Moroccan GDP check. Imagine being a Moroccan and you could be Tunisian. 8th largest GDP in the world. Number 1 GDP per capita. And instead you live just across the mountains in Morocco. But don't worry, we'll come to you soon. Oh, the Egyptians might get. What about you? Are you just... Yeah, you're just free, aren't you? Or you're a tributary of the Ottomans. Yeah, I don't really see anything worth taking in Libya. Right, I'm going to switch over to this, which will create explosives, which I can then use. So that murders people. So let's not use nitroglycerin. Let's just go straight to dynamite. Going to hurt production for a little while, whilst I figure out how to get that to. Using too much infrastructure, that's why. Quick. Railways. Do we have low market access? God, everyone's got low market access. That'll kill our economy faster than anything else. I do need to fight the Spanish at some point, but my economy is kind of more delicate now than it's ever been. Starting to suffer shortages. We're about to go through a minor recession while I figure this out. Right, what is using oil? We can't use oil. Food industries and chemical plants. Why am I using oil in chemical plants? Where is the oil? We're using coal. Not the food industries. Where am I using coal in the food industries? Oil. Where's the oil? Must not be me. Must be the French. The French are fighting the Spanish because Britain is fighting, and one of Britain's allies is Spain. Is it? No, I think they just called them in for something. Okay, well that's interesting. I'll get involved in that. All right, everything seems to be pulling out okay. Export some grain. Okay, we have no convoys. That can be changed. Max out all these ports. Give us a ton of convoys. And yeah, they're using that. Nice. Okay. The Free Trade Party. Oh my god, the Conservative Party are probably gonna win. The landowners came back. We've got 4%. You've screwed yourself. You broke up your parties. Oh god, we're gonna have a Conservative government. They've been running England for the last 12 years. Yes, momentum for the Liberals. Quick. Okay, so the Free Trade Party is going strong, and I'd love for them to stay out on top. The Liberal Party jumped up, and so have the Conservatives. It does look like the Conservatives are going to take it. How do you have this many voters? It's universal suffrage. What? My income just collapsed. Fine, I'll increase taxes a little bit. Yeah, the Conservative Party won. I guess they're in. Wait, do I have any sulfur mines? I need sulfur. Yeah, we could build a couple. My economy's teetering because of this stupid war. I don't even get anything out of it. My economy gets wrecked. I think I'm going to have to go after the Moroccans now. I need their population. I have to raise taxes, and I've dropped them now. I've realized what the hell the issue was. I thought it was low market access because my infrastructure. No, my infrastructure is actually great in all these areas. I can build to my heart's content. The issue is the French are at war with the English. So they keep on raiding my shipping lanes. Just shrink my economy by 10 because I can't export anything. The war's done. You can tell because I'm suddenly not poor. Hey, look at that. There, look at that. Our economy is now fixed. Right, I'm going to try something I like, which is basically just a command economy where I'm going to subsidize everything. This usually isn't a good idea with how economies are set up, but mine is so intertwined that I think it might work. Just to get everything like sort of ticking over. Because my issue is if one like part of my economy collapses, it all collapses. That's what I found. Already my GDP's gone up by about 10 million. Yeah, it means I'm going to ease up on the construction a little bit and maybe increase taxes. I think this is a good idea. Okay, so I went to expand my power plants and I realized something. If I attempt to do that, we have no people left, even in Valencia. So, kind of time we did something about that. I don't mind offering an inner Morocco treaty port to the French to get them to join in, especially because the Spanish are now involved. Yeah, I'm now notorious. I don't really want to add anything more. Surely he'll back down, right? Yep, there you go. All right, Fez, welcome to the team. Do me a favor, mate. I'm gonna need, oh my God, 190,000. Yes! This is where our industry is gonna be focused for now, boys. We're just on par with the British Raj. We keep switching places. Russia's, we left in the dust. All right, I've dropped taxes once more and increased our government wages. That's why we're losing this much money whilst not constructing anything. Yeah, the whole subsidy plan seems to be working for keeping our boys employed and keeping radicalism down. I need to build a railway here. But I do want to start to move towards leaving this market potentially. Because here's my plan, right? We go over here and we switch to free trade. Which loses us money when there's no tariffs. I think that would do quite nicely for our economy if we separate from the French market. The issue being, you know, separating from the French market. I think I should leave. All right, well, let's get free trade on the go first. I will preface this by saying I don't know what's about to happen, so I have made a save just in case I completely screw it up because I've invested far too much time now. So let's go free trade. This is about to be worth a lot of money. It's currently worth 3 million. Watch that skyrocket. I mean, this one's up to about 10 mil in the 10 years that we've had. All right, we got it. Okay, all right. Tunisian market has grown famous worldwide, becoming welcoming and opening to foreign trade. All right, we're going to try and sell things. Not a good idea. Okay, so everything just collapsed because we've got shortages of everything, right? That's fine. We now need to import this stuff, which is why we did free trade. Don't panic, Laith. You're okay. This is why we did this. Buying every bit of iron on the market. Okay, I've been playing this out for a while. I think I'm going to go back to my French market because, okay, technically I got everything under control. We have an absolute ton of trade routes with a lot of different people. And things are generally stable. We have lost 20 million of our GDP. It was 30 million. I've kind of brought it back a little bit. And I've had to not subsidize anything because we just constantly lose money and people are becoming unemployed. I think we are kind of dead spiraling here. So I'm gonna switch back. Being part of the French market. Lovely. Marketplace of the world. Buy. We have a lot of imports. Hello, 83 million GDP. My old friend. Do you think keeping everything subsidized is the play to avoid the death spiral? And we need to bring electricity down in price. I honestly think the best way to do that is with this new tech. It'll take ages to research, but once we have it, it'll help with our... I wanted this for like synthetic dyes, 34 months. As I said, I wouldn't really be worried about this. I tend to just let it spiral downwards and then switch it out as and when I need to. I don't understand how we're only ranked 28. Like, we're marginally better off than Egypt, even though our GDP is 7 times. Our prestige is pretty good as well. I understand it's because we're the subject of France, but the British Raj are a subject of Britain. So how does that work? And we just share a customs union. In any case, we're reputable, which means we need to start looking at declaring war. I don't know about you. What kind of reasons do you have here? Sugar plant. Do we need sugar? That's quite useful, actually. Not sure why the French are belligerent towards me. You know, conquer states owned by me. What the hell are you doing here? I was hoping for there to be a big war for you guys, but I think I got the French involved. The Spanish seem to have given in, so we now have this land. Kind of sucks, but we'll subsidize it anyway. I'll go through and add rail transportation to all this stuff. Everything's using electric sawmills, prioritizing hardwood, team donkeys everywhere, more rail transportations. All right, to keep costs down, we're going to subsidize logging camps as well. Hey, we just broke 100 million. Nice. That puts us firmly... Actually, it puts us firmly against the head of the US. They seem to be hitting a recession. Okay, what happened to Britain? What happened to you that your GDP just crashed? Are you in a civil war or something? Against radical Cutaline. Hey, GDP just collapsed, man. Okay, I'll just drop 4 mil as well. Wow, okay. Do you want to see the level of electricity production? So we've got number 2 in the world is France, right? Because that's the French market. They do 400. We do 3.3k. We produce more electricity than every other nation combined. There you go. As we start to approach this, I just pop the taxes up to this and we start making money whilst having 311 production. We're about to make electricity dirt cheap pretty soon once we research the steam turbine. Coal-fired turbine, I suppose. We need to make sure we're subsidizing the coal mines because they're about to a massive kick. This place was worth like 3 million before, right? Now it's 7.2. From electricity and steel. Ooh, I think we got it. Steam turbine. This may make my electricity generation points like sort of non-profitable because it's going to be producing so much it's going to drop the price. See what happens over here. Now I have to slowly phase it in. Still making money, which to be honest should have a knock-on effect for all this stuff where electricity is quite expensive. We can drop the price of electricity. Our logging camps right now are, kind of losing a lot of money. Maybe because of wages and wood's not that expensive. Great synthetic, because we use a lot of dyes and we import a lot of dyes. Dyes are super expensive usually. I hope drop the price. Electricity's still expensive. I don't know how. How are you still expensive? How are you losing money? This will make electricity apparently worth pennies, but I don't agree with that. I don't think it will. It'll make engines more expensive. I think that'll happen. It'll make coal more expensive for sure. I don't think that what it says is going to happen is going to happen. Right, we're going to see if we can get ourselves some multiculturalism. And let's drop taxes back down. All this other stuff's still max. Get rid of the consumption tax on tobacco. Yeah, we'll do that. It's not like it gives us anything. I think it's high time we make our next play. Okay, we need to have an interest in Italy. 1 second. The issue is we can only have one interest at a time. So I was considering colonizing, but it doesn't actually, because we haven't researched anything to do with anti-malaria stuff. Oh god, low market access. Okay. Oh god, Eastern Andalusia needs way more railway. Do we? What? Just for good measure, let's put one in every province again. Keep up market access. Plus, it's not like railways lose money for the most part. Sometimes it makes some money, sometimes it loses. Yeah, well, this one kind of makes money. I mean, yeah, we pay like 6k in subsidies, but you know, unfortunately, the French are on our side, so that's quite useful. I could sway someone who. Yeah, Lucca, somehow I don't think that's necessary, Chief. I'm losing 1 million per tick. What the hell just happened? So looking at what just happened, aside from the Germans siding against me, which was always bad, the French broke their alliance with me and kicked me out of their customs union. Because relations between us are that bad. What? How did that happen that quickly? I'm gonna go ahead and load game. France is trying to damage relations with us. Bro, why? I helped your economy. Dude, our economy is number 4 worldwide. What? Dude, it could go to number 3. How do you feel about Sardinia, Piedmont then? You're part of the French market as well. Well, it doesn't mean that they'll actually fight. The Moroccan GDP check. Always a fun one. What are you? Who else starts like roughly our size? I think Tripolitania does. They got 66.5 million, 1.65 million, 265,000, 12 million. Look at these tiny things. The state of Tunis has 35 million GDP. Tunis is double the size of London. Let's go. What about Ile-de-France in Paris? 21 GDP. I think this might be the richest province in the game. 33 million GDP. Where else would be richer? Global GDP. Tunis is the... Let's go. Carthage is the richest nation on earth. Or the city on earth. Let's do it. Fun should make us so much fun. We'll start hand. Also, we need to fight Morocco. It just has to happen. We need more problems. Okay, so because they're damaging relations with me, every time I fight someone, they immediately relations enough. He tanked his own GDP as well. Okay, reloading that one. We got multiculturalism. Also, I've hopped on this, but it looks like Russia is mobilizing against us. As I say that, the idea is that they're going to try and get a Tunisian treaty port. Well, no wonder you want to take a chunk out of the most profitable place on earth, huh? You're just jealous I destroyed your GDP ranking. Now number 5 worldwide. Britain got their act together and spiked their GDP. Fine, we'll catch up. Meanwhile, it looks like the Spanish have got involved. I'm still worried though. Sardinians have got involved as well. Does mean I can attempt to conquer Sardinia. You're gonna subjugate Tuscany? This is gonna get dicey. Can't actually see the lines. But this man is an expert defensive strategist, so we should be able to hold for a little bit. I think the French should be able to push back on these fronts here. Second, the Scandinavians want to get involved. But it says that you want it. Happily get them involved. Like Spanish war operations, Piedmont war operation. I don't want to take anything from the Russians. The guys that we could push into. They just back down. Nice. Okay, this is 20. Why would it take 20 years? Yeah, there's a lot of industry here. Gonna need to subsidize. We're gonna have to raise taxes, boys. Oh, the right click is actually so much easier. Didn't realize that was a thing. God, look how unemployed these people are. 270,000 of them. Like how they have an initial burst of turmoil, but then usually they look at the standard of living. They're like, oh, okay, and then there's no turmoil anymore. Keeping the Spanish out. That's the. We're not allowing this because I need to do migration controls because I really annoyed the rural folk and trade unions. And so now I have to try and keep them out. All right. The general reform, nothing to do with Spain, despite the fact that they're incredibly poor. May also have something to do with the fact that we made them poor. Elastics for textile mats. Sounds interesting. Dude, the Conservative Party is sweeping each time because they've got like a broad coalition. Can't put the Lemma in charge because they're angry. Who else is angry? That would give me 21%, but I can't because they're angry at me. Well, that sucks. So why am I not subsidizing everything over here? Aesthetic plants weren't subsidized. Those are kind of useful for my textile mills. Apparently I'm involved in this. Oh no. The Spanish are here. I don't know if I fight the Spanish. Not true. very much enjoy fighting the Spanish. Get on, mobilize. Let's do it. No way they don't back down. They're outnumbered on every single front. Oh my god, they're actually going to fight this. Ooh, electric railways. Nice. Uh-oh. Okay, there's like 16 different fronts. I hate this part of the game. The Spanish are getting thoroughly destroyed. All right, and there it is. Bornu gets capitulated, so does Asturias. No, it's just Sokoto. So seems to be going quite well for him. Electric trains. Well, who are you fighting now? Who's that? That's a different Egyptian flag. Gonna get your ass kicked, aren't you? Regime change. Oh, the French took the Sinai. Oh, I'm in bed with the monster. We've now got the Metropolitan Railway. Grand opening of the Tunis Metropolitan Railway was received with much celebration. In a speech, the Bey congratulated the engineers who made this possible. It's not only the railway that electrified, but the whole city of Tunis. The streets are abuzz with citizens marveling at the wonders of technology, speculating about what new innovation will come to transform our lives for the better. I want to get City of International Renown. I like that. Probably like the best place to live in the world in GDP. The sheer quantity of wars that France keeps on declaring is actually ridiculous. Oh, it's about that time again. I need to change up. Oh, it's about that time. I need to switch on my taxation. Because it looks bad, right? But we also have gold reserves about 3 million right now. So it's all fine. Jesus Christ, the birth rate. Our population is now number 10 worldwide. Also, our GDP is number 3. You can see the bumps where I started to electrify everything possible. It's now bigger than the British GDP. It's half the size of the French. I want to pass the German one. And we're only about 20 mil away. Bear in mind, we have 20 million population. Bear in mind, we started out with like, what, 6? And we've also maintained a handy hold on the GDP per capita. Far better than everyone else on it. Also, everyone else is more secure. Like, again, our rivals, the Serbians, are not able to hold a candle to us. Again, I have no idea how standard of living in Serbia is so good. I don't know what Prince Milano Brevanovic is doing, but it's clearly black magic. My guys are sitting here at no taxation. I switched over my taxation laws. Probably should say that. Oh, I don't care who dies. I switched over my tariff laws, so I'm now making an extra 156,000 in tariffs. This is gonna make it cool. Get everyone a telephone, you know? The population in Tunisia is exploding. Trying to keep a hold of it. We can improve relations more easily. Let's establish a phone line to France. What's particularly expensive? I don't think anything's particularly expensive at this point. Everything's making money. I don't really need to subsidize everything. Subsidies cost me 229,000. I don't really need to be subsidizing things. I just do, just to keep things stable. I value stability in my economy because oftentimes I can't react fast enough. Yeah, I think it's just a case of just building much stuff as possible. It looks to me like the electricity side of things isn't as profitable as it could be. So maybe we drop down the motor industry prices by building a bunch of those. That's literally how I've been making decisions. The population of Tunisia is rising in real time. We need to build more. Things are starting to boom a bit too fast. Got 215,000, 218,000 unemployed. Jesus Christ. What the hell's going on? Right, I think it's time we absolutely eviscerated the construction side of things. We'll build loads more, and you're about to see an economy explode. I've been taking it fairly chill, but I think the turn of the 20th century, let's up our taxes. Let's see how far we can stretch this. Number 3 GDP, we're chasing down the Germans. We're 20 million away. We might be ranked 29th in the world. Our prestige actually is the number 5th prestige. I'm pretty sure we would be, I mean, we'd easily be a great power. We'd probably be like, what, number 4 for great power? I just haven't invested. We've got a tiny army. I've not really invested in that at all. Look at that full 540 slots. We're still making money. If you're curious about the population, oh, there's our first electricity industries. Make sure to subsidize those. There's no demand for these things yet, but I've got them just in case there is. That's how, honestly, that's how I've like played this game, is I've tried to keep on top of advancements. That's how my GDP is growing so much. Like if you recall in the first video, I invested heavily into my steel industry. So then I would be ready for when motor industries turned up. And now we're just doing stuff like this with textile mills that require electricity and such to perform. Actually, electricity is kind of expensive. We need to start producing that. Because you've got to remember, everything of mine now uses electricity. It's now 240,000 peasants. Market access in Tunisia and Eastern Sahara, Sicily. Oh, this is Tunisia and Eastern Sahara. It has 1 dye factory, 500 people working there. And I'm gonna put a railway. Let's subsidize it as well. There it is. We're number 2, number 3. Come on. Slow down the German economy. We're number 3. Oh God, that's good theory. Played them in another video. Come on. Yes, number 2. I mean, there's no way we're catching the French. God, I just want to firmly become number 2. Bear in mind how much we contribute to the French market. Like, we do pull our weight. Bear in mind so France itself, let me show you again. Electricity generation is all me. I produce 10K. That's consumed by France, right? The French people, everything else. And also, I think most of Europe can't compete with, if you look at it, it's just Germany. So we produce 10K, and the French produce 400. Consume our electricity because it's within the market. You can't import and export electricity. I've kept electricity costs down. What else? What other goods should we look at? Assembly lines. The oil. We can't afford it because of oil. Where would oil be found? The only place oil is found is because of whaling station. I can't do that. I was about to say we need to go and find some oil. And I think that is essentially, I've just role played as a state in the 20th century, which was oil? Oil where? 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 We need to advance our economies. We're number 4 in what else? I haven't really, maybe motor industries we might be on top. Yeah, it's us again. Motor industries, yeah, to support our, that makes sense, to support our electricity generation. Steel, I've not focused on steel at all. At its heyday, this is the best steel mill in the world. We produced the second most amount, which is again kind of decent. They're climbing very rapidly. No, surely. We just don't have the resources for that. If we had oil, maybe. I'll tell you what's the defense pack. No. Ooh, rubber. That's not something that I've really focused on at all. Can I create? That's something I could create? I think so, right? Synthetics, maybe? It's actually insane how much our economy is growing. We're now, I say only, around 200 million behind the French. They are pulling away. We're at about 90 million, to be fair. But I have my secret weapon. I'm going to start researching radio. I've got some innovation points or whatever you call invested already, and I'm hoping that will pick up, and then I'm going to be the sole producer the same way that I managed to monopolize. All right, brief update. I'm sort of going from like live talking about it to just sort of talking passively because I think that's more dramatic. We are at 380 million. The French are at 540 million, so we're closing that gap ever so slightly each time. So it's now like what, 270, something like that. Or 150 or something along those lines. I don't know. We're about 130 million away from the Germans. Our standard of living still the highest in the world. I think we produce more electricity, like more electric industries than anyone else. No, I don't know who buys this, but rubber is our big issue. We don't have any sort of ability to create rubber. So I might need to do some colonialism to sort that out. As far as I'm aware, I'm the only person that produces telephones. Let's have a look at this. Over here, West Africa, and over here in where's the potentials? Yeah, down here is the big one. Okay. I don't know that I can access it anymore, but I have to conquer something off the Portuguese. All right. Anywhere there's rubber, we're gonna have to go and conquer. We're now that kind of a state. I also have no fear. This is me on 0 taxes. I bump it up. I make money. Started diplomatic play for North Angola. He's very fearful, so he should back down. Fingers crossed. I haven't built any military buildings or even switched over our military. We just sort of allow the French to bully everyone for us. It's great. And sure enough, they've handed it off to us. Now, where's the rubber? I will subsidize you. We'll subsidize the rest of it as well. Why not? It's not like, I mean, there's dyes here, I guess, and coffee and stuff. No point not subsidizing you, I guess. You're gonna need a couple of railways, maximize your port. It's what happens every time I conquer a new area. It's immediately like brought into the fold. Our GDP is like 4 million, 400 million now. What the hell happened? We're like 100 mil away from the French. How valuable is that province? It's only a mil GDP. Succession move if possible. Yeah, not for long, man. It's turmoil, but like usually they trickle down and they're like, see. Good stuff. Okay, that's a lot of insufficient taxation. Valencia needs another railway. I got you, buddy. This is a filthy state. 71 urban size. Nice. What am I looking for here? I need to subsidize you. You, just in case we need a domestic arms industry. Al-Rif, Fez, Valencia. Fez, Al-Rif, Valencia, and then a couple more in Tunis for good luck. Still not all of our construction capacity. There's a couple more than that. I want to keep building this electrics industry because I really think it's going to be the way forwards. So everyone's loyal. That's nice. Apart from the guys currently in power that I'm bolstering. I'm going to stop bolstering you and I'm going to start doing this. Wait, what is the most amount of GDP? 7.7, 7.6, 10%, 14%. Go over here, decrease, encourage manufacturing here and here. GDP a bit more. Yo, let's get tractors going. I like tractors. Rubber boom, let's go. The French are actually declining. We're less than 100 mil away. That's the goal now, boys. Number 1 GDP. Anywhere that we can have a rubber farm. We're now the number 1 rubber producer in the world from that one province. Down south one, Germany has one. I don't really want to fight the Germans. They're kind of hard. The Germans, well, the Portuguese, I can fight them again easy. I really think the thing holding us back was our population. Because we had everything else set up. Like, it was a really nicely set up economy, if I didn't say so myself. It's at the point now where I generally just kind of click through. I can't really manage everything. When this number goes too bad, I just switch over to a higher taxation thing and then keep going. Very few radicals, loads of loyalists. Probably 19th worldwide in literacy rate, but that's because I keep on conquering illiterate places. I think it's somewhere like Tunis actually has quite high literacy. We've got wage subsidies now. Lovely. Let's start using those. Get plus 50% welfare payments. Why not? Oh, we're like 10 mil. Oh, a little bit away. Come on, just 9 mil away. Go, 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 go. 0.1, let's go. Yes! Number 1 GDP. Oh my god, we actually did it. We're ranked number 29th in the world, but by god, do we have the number 1 GDP and number 1 GDP per capita. But GDP per capita isn't even close. Double the standard of living. Our people have radios, electricity, heated floors, dinosaurs, private airplanes. We got it all over here. My god. That's insane. I mean, I didn't pick up all the islands I wanted. I wanted to pick up this, but I was really trying to focus on building up our economy. At the end there, I'm not gonna lie, I did crank it up to the point where we're kind of like, this isn't on low like it usually was. We could probably afford it. Construction costs us like 700,000. So we could probably afford this with high taxation, which we could probably do because our standard of living is so high. But it is sort of cranking our economy to the max. I don't know how sustainable it is. We've got a little colonies down here. I want to show you Tunis as a state. This state itself has 148 million GDP. 148 million. It has more GDP. It has the same. Okay, this one province of Tunis has the same GDP as the entirety of the United States of America, which is insane. Why, you might say? What's in here? Well, let me show you round. Population-wise, to be fair, it does have about 8 million people, which is what we started with, if you recall. We now have the number seven most populous nation on Earth. We have more people than the US. That's a mixture of, as you'll see in a second, migration as well as the birth rate. I have, institutions-wise, I've cranked up the health as hard as I can, as well as the wealth stuff going up as well, so people generally aren't dying from starvation, obviously, at all. But then things like childbirth and general mortality isn't happening. Population-wise, you'll be intrigued to note that Tunisia itself is incredibly multicultural. Obviously, its dominant thing is Maghrebi. We used to have a huge Spanish populace in Tunis, but they migrated to other states. But you'll see them elsewhere. Yeah, mostly Sunni with a decent Catholic lot there as people start to migrate. If I show you Tunis as a whole, as you can see, an incredibly multicultural state. Most people are Maghrebi, which is sort of this stuff, but we've also got a huge Spanish and South Italian, obviously, because we conquered those areas. But take those out, and well, it's about 40% multicultural with like, you know, French and everything in there. Religion-wise, we're actually more Catholic than we are Sunni, which I find very amusing. I don't know how that happened. But yeah, we're definitely more Catholic than Sunni. Despite the increased amount of Maghrebis, the missionaries have been hard at work. Look at the GDP map. Yeah, obviously, most of our stuff comes from Tunis itself. I want to see global GDP. Yeah, we kind of screw up the map because we're so damned... Oh my god, coal is the dominant thing here. Insane. That it makes everyone else look a little bit naff, including our friends over in France. France, by the way, that has dominated the globe completely. Nothing happens without France's say-so. And so attaching ourselves to them was a pretty good idea. I'm going to take a quick save, and I'm going to leave the French market because I want to devastate the earth. And our GDP dropped by so much just there. Look at that. That's terrifying. We're going to have shortages of absolutely everything because the thing is, it doesn't set like, so you might think, oh my god, it's because we left the French market. It isn't. It's because we're no longer importing from the French market. So if I try and sort out these imports and exports and stuff, I don't think I can. I can't be bothered. But basically, we have a shortage because we're not. Whereas the French, we left the French market, so all of our imports have stayed there. The French GDP hasn't actually taken that much of a hit, but we just lost 100 mil because our people aren't, or our factories and stuff, they just don't have supply anymore. But yeah, I think it's safe to say we achieved it. I don't know what I've titled this video. There could be something about Carthage, trying to reclaim that, because that's what it started out as, to try and take all this stuff. But as with the last video, it rapidly pivoted to become the richest nation on Earth, which did pretty well. Why we are the only, I mean, we're number like 4 in prestige, number 2 in GDP, number 1 in standard of living, and like number 7 in population. But country rank wise, apparently we're not that. We're an unrecognized major power with less impact than the Spanish, who has less than 1/10 of our GDP. I assume it's because we don't have any sort of army, whereas the Spanish have. Let's have a look. Yeah, they've got like 150, 210 battalions roughly. We have about 210 as well. All right. Well, that was perhaps my most fun Victoria 3 game of all time. Yeah, 1908. Oh man, I'm really enjoying playing Victoria 3. It makes a nice change from what I'm usually doing. If there's a specific video you want me to perform, then please do let me know in the comments down below. Otherwise, in recognition of Tunis becoming the #1 in the world in GDP, despite its small stature and lack of expansionism, please do like and subscribe, and I will see you all next time. Goodbye. Huge shout out to our patrons, most notably Charlie Demerel, Crilly, Flyerton, JDow52, Cargon, Sjalmi, Lewis Wright, Nicole's Christ, QA Shard, Redguard, and ShadowSinger. Your support means a lot, guys. Whilst you're here, you might as well click on another video. I mean, it's literally right there.